Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name's Mike Amos. Hoping that you're doing well on this very cold morning. Right now, 43 degrees on the square in downtown Troy, and it feels colder than that. A little breeze going in, but it's a beautiful day, and I hope everybody's having a good one as those cold temperatures are coming in at night, and that grass just doesn't seem like it wants to grow like it used to, and that is great. We got a call coming in. You're on Today in LA. How you doing?
Hey, morning.
Where are you calling from, please?
A cold Great Beach, Florida. It was 46 down here today.
46 degrees at Drayton Beach. That is pretty cold. Everything else going good this morning?
Yeah, not much going on. Kind of a slow day, so I guess we'll just talk about some sports or something.
Well, exactly right. And of course, it's voting day. Everybody needs to get ready to go out and vote. It's very important for everybody to vote. This is going to be a very close race.
Any local elections going on in Troy we need to talk about?
No, there's some state elections. You know, Tuberville is running for Congress, and there's a few other local races going on. You've got Moore is racing.
Doug Jones against Tuberville and Mountain Brook. Doug Jones would win going away.
Really? He's from Mountain Brook, isn't he?
Yeah, the signs were everywhere for Doug Jones.
Oh, really? Yeah, he's liable to do better than people think. You know, he's like you said, he's a well-known guy.
He called Tuberville a quitter.
He did. Why? Because he quit coaching at Auburn or what?
I don't know. I think he quit like right in the middle of the season at Cincinnati or something. Maybe his last coaching stop or something.
Yeah. Well, he beat Troy.
Oxford, Mississippi. The only way he was going to leave Oxford was in a pine box.
Oh, really?
I guess he lied about that.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, he beat Alabama 6 straight times. That's probably never will happen again. And you know, you got to hand it to him. He did pretty well. You know, he got his reputation as a defensive coach when he coached down at Miami. He coached with Snellenberger. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, he coached with Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. Well, they're all a bunch of buddies down there, you know. And
let's see what Tommy Tuberville's career record was.
Of course, Tommy Tuberville.
Boy, I tell you what, Tommy Tuberville looks really good for 66.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, he was in the restaurant business down there with you at one time, wasn't he?
I mean, I think he was like a part owner of whole Florida Fish House, but I don't think.
And to me, that was a good restaurant too. Is it still? It's still open, isn't it?
He might have been involved financially.
Is it still open?
I think it's under another name now.
He has property down there, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got 2 different condos. One in South Walton, and I think he's got one in Panama City Beach.
Yeah. Okay. So they claim.
Tuberville playing career from 72 to 75. He played at Southern Arkansas. He was a safety.
Yeah.
And then he coached at Hermitage High School in Arkansas.
I've never heard of Southern Arkansas. You know, I've a lot of Arkansas schools, but I've never heard of Southern Arkansas.
He coached at Arkansas State as a defensive back, linebacker coach from 90 to 84. And then after that, he left and became an assistant at Miami from 86 to 92.
Yeah.
He was the defense coordinator in 93. 94 at Texas A&M, defense coordinator, linebacker coach. And then he got the head job at Ole Miss from 95 to 98. Then he was at Auburn from 99 to 2008. Texas Tech from 2010 to 2012. And Cincinnati from 2013 to 2016. Overall as a coach, this was smart. He won 159 and lost 99, so he got out before he lost 100.
You know what? That's not bad. That's not a bad record. He did pretty well, you know.
No, I mean, that's enough maybe probably to get the College Football Hall of Fame, I would think.
I know it. I mean, really.
9 wins.
Yeah. He's been successful wherever he is. Of course, he's running for for Congress and against a guy that everybody gives him no problem to beat. What do you think? Do you think Jones can run him real tight or what?
No, I mean, not in Alabama. I mean, there's two locks today for sure. Trump's going to win Alabama, and Tuberville's going to win Alabama. I don't think there's any question on those two races.
Well,
now nationally, I have no idea who's going to win president. I mean, I think they say it comes down to 4 states. Will Matthews, if he calls in today, he'll let you know. But I have no clue what's going to happen. All I know is it's going to be much-watched television tonight, I would imagine, until the wee hours of the morning.
well, you've got Pennsylvania, which is going to be very big. Florida is going to be very big.
Yeah, I told my wife.
Texas.
We actually live in a state where it really
North
matters.
Carolina. Those are some big states. And of course,
the polls open at 7 and close at 7. Of course, we'll know Florida very early on who wins this state where I'm living.
That's 7. That would be Southern Eastern time. Is that right? Southern Eastern time.
The majority of the state of Florida is Eastern time.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the Panhandle, pretty much.
Yeah. Of course, we got a big week in football as well. You got Florida, Georgia. You got Troy going to Georgia Southern after their big win over Arkansas State. So that's exciting. You got the high school playoffs starting. Every single college is back this week. We mentioned the MAC starts tomorrow night with 6 games. So that'll be on tomorrow night. So a lot going on in sports.
Who is Auburn? Who are they lining up against this week?
Auburn's got an off week.
Oh man, so a big off week after a big win, and tell you what, they turned in the corner a little bit, Mike. I think Auburn is playing with some confidence now.
Yeah, they called some breaks. I mean, a lot of people think they should have lost the Arkansas game. A lot of people think that maybe Ole Miss a different way, but they found a way to win some games, and we'll see what happens. Let's look at the rest of their schedule and see who Auburn has left. Of course, everybody knows they got to travel to Tuscaloosa later in the season, but let's see who possibly.
They play Florida too, don't they?
Let's see. Auburn's 4-2. They will play Mississippi State in Starkville their next game. They should win that.
Oh, they'll win it without any problem. Even though Mississippi State's, I don't think it's terrible on defense. I really don't.
Yeah, I mean Mississippi State will have a week to prepare, but I think Auburn will win that game.
Oh yeah.
Game here, I think they'll turn their season around starting this week. I think they'll start playing better. Tennessee will go to Auburn on November 21st. I think that's an interesting game.
I don't know. I think Tennessee's sort of already blown it. They don't seem like they're playing with very much confidence right now.
And then to end the season, what a tough stretch for Auburn. It's still weird to say this, but they'll play Alabama on November 28th in Tuscaloosa. You'll think they'll have to play their best game of the season to even be competitive with Alabama. And then Texas A&M in Auburn to finish. So that's 2 extremely tough games.
Yeah.
Finish the season. A&M's playing really well right now.
They really are.
Did you know I found out yesterday A&M was up by 25 in the fourth quarter, and Arkansas, I guess the final score was 12 points?
Yeah, I know it. I saw that, yeah. We got a call coming in. Let me put you on hold here. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Heard a Brantley alumni a while ago. They lost 2 of their best players to injury Friday night.
All right, now see that's what can happen when a 5A plays when a 1A plays a 5A. What happened?
One of the players, I'm not gonna call his name, one of the best players broke his tibia.
All right, how about the quarterback? He's okay, isn't he?
I think he's fine.
You got one kid with a broken leg.
And one receiver broke his wrist. The fast breakout receiver who can stretch the field, I heard, broke his wrist.
Oh boy, that could have a big effect on them in the playoffs. We're talking about a game that was played by Brantley against 1A Brantley played 5A Andalusia, and Andalusia won the game. I think 41-17, something like that. What?
Somewhere like in those.
And Brantley ends up getting two of their key players hurt in that game. And instead of sitting at home and getting ready for the playoffs, they went ahead and played their game. And their top receiver is probably out for the rest of the year, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. If you got a broke wrist, and that, I'm sure those guys are multi-sport players, baseball and basketball, and because usually in Brantley, everybody plays everything, especially your skilled athletes. I think the other kid was Akil Crease.
Oh, boy.
But he was not the quarterback, but he's a senior, and I'm not sure where all he played, but I heard he's a versatile player.
So two of their top players were hurt in the game.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
I was told a broken tibia and a broke wrist.
Okay.
But anyway.
Have you given any thought to going to the game this weekend at Georgia Southern?
Is it in Georgia?
Yeah, it's at Georgia Southern. The way I like about it, it's a morning game. It starts at 11 Central Time, our time, and you could go over and see the game and get back at a reasonable time.
Yeah, and that's where Jody, my wife, that's her alma mater, and I remember going to a game years ago when Ert Russell was a coach, and they played University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, the Moccasins.
Well, that's a good program, no question about it.
It was about 20,000 strong then, and nobody sat down.
I know, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, they were rocking and rolling.
How's everything at the Brundage Country Club? Is y'all getting a lot of play?
Well, I'm not back there. I'll probably start back on Thursday or Friday, but I'm doing great.
I'm sorry. Are you going through it right now?
Yeah, I'm finishing up. Today is my last day.
How's it been, Forrest? Tell us about it, if you don't mind.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd call it about a 2 for me.
So you have tested positive for the virus, and you've been quarantined for how many days now?
Yeah, I'm on like day number 9 or 10. I had to go back and recheck.
All right, now what does that mean now? We're talking to Forrest Lee, and he has been found, after being tested, found to be positive for the COVID-19.
I was near a friend who had it, and he called me, and so I called a little bit later that day and called the next day and set up an appointment, and they called me back, and before I go back to work, I'm going to have another test, and just to double check, but the last 4 or 5 days, I felt wonderful.
Have you had any symptoms at all, Forrest?
Very mild. I had just a touch of a fever one day, a little bit of a cough. My appetite's good. My energy's been real good.
What is your blood? What's your blood type?
I'm O positive.
See, that O positive, they say that's a pretty positive thing to have. I'm O positive too. That's most common blood, isn't it? O positive.
That's one of the good ones, I think.
One of the good ones.
They like for blood donations, and especially they like some of that rare blood they need all the time.
Oh yeah, no question about it. But now you
might be on the phone, but Georgia now is going through some injury problems.
University of Georgia.
Yeah, they had their starting safety that was in a motorcycle wreck.
Oh me.
After he got home and he got hit by 2 different vehicles, he will not play. I think he's going to be okay, and they've lost one interior lineman to an ACL tear. That's on defense, and 1 or 2 more defensive players, I think, will be out against Florida.
All right, let's bring Michael back in here. You're on the hold right now. Let me bring him back in here. Well, maybe who do I have now? Mike, you or Forrest?
You got me.
All right, Mike Amos is in here. We lost Forrest, but of course the show is going on, and of course Forrest has gone, tested positive for the virus and had been going through a quarantine and has a couple more days left. Said it feels good, and he's. I mean, he hasn't been on this show in quite a while now, but he did find out from a friend that his friend had the virus, tested positive. So he went and tested like all good Americans should, and he found out that he was positive for the virus, and he had been going through.
How many people that went to homecoming at Troy got the virus?
I don't know. I hope it wasn't many. I hope it wasn't many. Mike Amos is calling in from Great Beach.
89,000 new cases yesterday.
89,000? Whoa. That's nationwide. Is that right?
I told my wife, I was like, maybe we need to restart our bubble again. I said, it's worse now than it's ever been.
Yeah, I know it. It really is.
As far as cases.
Yeah, 89,000. We've got a good show for you today. We've got we're going to be talking about the best camp stew in the world in a few moments right here on this show, and this is Camp Stew weather right now, and of course the big event is coming up this Thursday, and we're excited about that, and we'll be bringing
39 degrees in Troy.
39 degrees. Is that out at the airport?
It's just over my phone.
39 degrees, quite chilly, and if you should be a very nice day for being out and working in your yard and doing a lot of things like that.
It's going to warm up this weekend. Be back in the mid-70s again.
I want to mention a few things before we go to our break and our guest. Elba finished the regular season 40-18 over Houston County. Geneva County beat Zion Chapel 48-13. That was a tough one for him. Highland Home beat.
No. Zion Chapel, they beat Pleasant Home.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's a different week. Maybe it is a different week. I was looking down here.
Geneva County got beat by Slocum.
Okay, I got you. This was a week before, I believe. And the one I was looking at was the Brantley Florella game. That was 52-36. That was 2 weeks ago. But as we speak.
How do you have papers up there that old?
Well, I just pulled them out, I reckon. But this one right here is up to date. Navarre Beach, Florida beat Andalusia 16-14. Navarre must be pretty good.
No, Navarre Beach beat Enterprise.
Oh.
You need to throw that paper away.
I know it, but did you know that Navarre Beach played Andalusia? I didn't know that. And they played Andalusia and they played Enterprise and beat both of them. It must be pretty good.
Well, yeah, we need to find out if Brad Rhodes, I think he coaches in Navarre. I would imagine that's where he coaches.
It'd be a nice place to coach, wouldn't it?
Yeah, anywhere down here is nice.
We've got a great show for you. We're going to take a short break. We've got a call coming in right here. Hold on 1 second. Let's see what we got coming in here before we get started. Good morning, you're on Today in L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, this is Forrest again.
Yes, sir, Forrest. I'm glad you called back.
Yeah. But anyway,
and you're feeling pretty good. We got some camp stew for sale on Thursday. You might want to buy some of that.
Where did you pick it up at?
You pick it up at the, where do you pick it up at? At the Salvation Army. Of course, Kim's waiting to come on the show. She'll be on in just a moment. And it's the best camp stew I've ever had, I'll tell you that. And it's probably the best deal in town.
That's from Carter Sanders.
That's Carter Sanders camp stew. You're right. That's the best around. And we'll be talking about it in just a few moments.
Carter's from the land of Goshen.
That's right. Yeah, stay on the line, if you will. But again, I haven't had the opportunity to talk first, right straight up and personal with somebody that's had that has tested positive. And is it anybody that overlooks what you do, or do you do it voluntarily? How does that work?
Well, it's a self
So a lot of people are out there with the virus and are not doing anything about it. Is that right?
Well, a lot of people may or may not know that they got it.
Yeah.
And but I think most people, once they get it, they're pretty sensible about it. And but you know, that day I was called. I was kind of lethargic that day, but I had a long week the week before, and I didn't think much of it. Well, when I started coughing that night, I called the next day and got me an appointment and tested positive, and that wasn't bad. And but I started feeling better every day. The last 4 or 5 days, my yard looks better than it ever has.
You've been working in your yard and in your garage back there. Is that right?
Right. And I just doing stuff to stay busy, and got some wood projects going on.
So you've still got plenty of energy. Is that right?
Oh, I've had great energy. I'm just tickled that I'm over the hump and everything's fine. And I've heard of some people who, you know, who are younger than I am, locally in their 20s, healthy as a horse. They've had a hard time with it.
Yeah.
And maybe their blood type, but they're fit, they eat right, they sleep, they exercise. And it just, I think, affects people different ways. Of course, if they had something else to compound this, they may have a mixture of flu or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Barnes, have you already voted?
I have. I'm good.
You've already voted, is that right?
Right, I'm good.
All right, well, good. And of course, election day is today, and a lot of people will be heading to the polls. We got to go right now. We're fixing to bring in. You hang on if you want to. We're gonna bring in.
I'll let you go. Give my best to the Salvation Army people. And
I will, and of course.
You got one of the best cooks in the country, Carter Sanders. It's good stuff.
And to go with Kim, you can't beat them, can you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, just call us back soon, then. Here.
We'll see you, Mike.
That's and let's bring in Mike Amos right here. Let's see. Put him on hold here. Good morning. You're on Today in L.A. How you doing? And we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about a big event coming up on Thursday. Is that right? Thursday, it is what we call Camp Stew Day in Troy and Pike County. And we'll be talking about it after these messages.
Trojan Auto Parts of Troy, home of Napa Know-How. Stop by and see owners Mike and Melissa Kilcrease and their Napa Know-How team with over 100 years of combined experience. We're the only locally owned parts store in Pike County, and we're fully stocked and ready to serve you. We pride ourselves on being your go-to parts store, not only for the simple items, but we specialize in those hard-to-find items as well. Trojan Auto Parts, the right part at the right price at the right time. Napa, a name you've trusted here in Troy since 1945.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson Satisfaction is real.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
Do y'all still require a mask or anything?
Yeah, we do.
Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, and my very good friend Kim May had joined us, and of course she's with the Salvation Army, and it's good to see you this morning, my dear.
Good morning.
And of course, we got a call coming in right here. Let's take it. Good morning. You're on Today in LA. How you doing?
You got to realize I'm on the phone.
Okay, good. I got you. So you're not on my hookup.
I can't hear off the computer.
Okay, I got you. Here we go. You can hear now, though. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Mike Amos calling in from Grayton Beach, beautiful Grayton Beach this morning, and they're right now they're looking at what, 46 degrees. Is that it?
Yeah, but the high's gonna be about 70. I mean, it's beautiful down here right now. Perfect time. Everybody's finally left, so it's just the people that live here now. We don't have to deal with fall breaks and all the tourists being down here. It's really calm and relaxing, actually.
Kim May is our guest today, and it's time for our annual Camp Stew sale, and nobody does it better than Kim. Tell us about it, Kim.
Well, we are cooking Camp Stew starting tomorrow night, and we'll be cooking all night and finishing up Thursday morning, and we'll have it back at the
Now,
Salvation
you know, people
Army.
are starting to talk about you and your buddy cooking that stew together. Is it just you and him, or what?
No, we have help. I have lots of volunteers.
But this is the world famous
It's
Camp
Carter
Stew.
Sanders' recipe, and he will be there cooking and stirring and helping us through the whole thing. So this is his recipe, and he's cooking it, and we appreciate him so much. And this is usually a very successful fundraiser for us.
No question about it. Him in that container there. You know, we're talking about a large container that I guarantee you this will feed 2 people here easily, or more. But this Camp Stew is a whole solid quart of Camp Stew, and the cost is only $10. Is that right?
That's correct. Yep.
And what the best way to do is give to the Salvation Army, like I do, and give $100 or $50. And the best thing I like about it, and I say this all the time, I don't mind giving to something if it gives me something back. Well, I can give to the Salvation Army $100 worth of donation, and I can take 10 quarts of quarts of Camp Stew home with me.
That's
it's
right.
something that'll last me the whole year, not just during the holidays, not just during cold weather, but whenever I want something good to eat, I go to the freezer and I get me a quart of this, and it is delicious.
It freezes very well.
And these
It looks like it's microwave safe too. You just throw that in the microwave and turn it on, and it's ready to go.
You mean the microwave? You can heat this in the yeah.
Isn't that plastic?
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can't heat plastic, can you?
Yeah.
But,
I don't know if I would. I wouldn't want to. You might want to thaw it out first, or you may want to thaw it in the microwave, then heat it up.
Yeah, that's right.
On your thaw setting, your
or let's just say you want it for.
How many of those have you eaten in your lifetime?
Oh gosh, I'd hate to count them. But I really enjoy them because
Ask
it's
me how
so
many I've
easy
cooked.
and delicious. You're right, it's so easy and delicious. Carter has a little bit different recipe than a lot of folks. He doesn't put any butter beans in it.
No.
Yeah, it's mostly potatoes. It's mostly tomatoes. It's
corn, potatoes.
And potatoes and
tomatoes and onions, ketchup, hot sauce.
And then
the meat. It's mostly meat.
Is the meat beef or is it?
It's all 3. It's beef, pork, and chicken.
All right, so beef, pork, and chicken in it, and it is thick and delicious, and it's good year round, and especially on a day like this. Let's say you're going to work and you wonder what you're going to have for supper. What you do, reach in and grab a couple of those out of your freezer, stick it in the sink, and when you get home, you're ready. All you got to do is heat it, and you're ready to eat.
And all the proceeds goes to the Salvation Army.
That's right.
And like I said, it'll be ready. It'll be hot. We'll have it back at the Salvation Army store Thursday at 12 noon.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I do. I get it, and I heat it, and I get some light bread. Everybody knows what light bread is, and I pour it over the top of light bread.
I like it that way, too.
Whoa, it's delicious. Or you could pour it over crackers. You could do about whatever you want to do. Rice.
And some people use grits.
Is light bread like white bread?
Yeah, it's white bread, and I tell you what, you can feed your little girls. You can feed your little girls for a month with this kind of good eating.
And you know what I do sometimes? and I know some of you ladies out there can relate. Sometimes I'm just got a lot to do and in a hurry.
Sure.
And when we have a meal at church,
Yeah.
a lot of times I thaw out a couple quarts of camp stew and take it.
Yeah.
And it goes over really well,
Yeah.
and it's easy. So,
And during Christmas, what a great stocking stuffer. Or you could get you a little ribbon and put it on top and carry it to your neighbors and just stick it in at their doorstep right there or right there on their porch and say, just want to wish you a Merry Christmas from Dolly, a Merry Christmas from Mike, and especially for a shut-in, this, and these are only $10 a quart, and what I'm saying, you're giving to the Salvation Army, and then you turn around and giving to your friends and the postman. You could leave some in the mailbox for him or whatever.
That's a nice gift.
Really is. It's a good eating, and the thing more than anything, you're giving to a cause of the Salvation Army. Now you've seen more storms than you want to see lately. Tell us about some of the things y'all do.
Well, we've been pretty stretched, pretty thin this hurricane season because we've had so many and coming through the same places.
Have you had to go to Louisiana at all?
I haven't because I had the big fundraiser, the Empty Bowls.
Yeah, that's right.
Right then, so they didn't call me to go. But most of my colleagues have gone, and I may still have to go. But we go for 14 days at a time.
Yeah. Somebody told me that that this was rural Louisiana, and that if the impact had been in a more populated area, it would have been one of the worst hurricanes ever. That not this past one, but the week before it.
Yeah.
And it's people don't realize what these people in these swamps that live in these swamps are going through.
I know.
A lot of them are having their whole homes destroyed, and it goes up into the state of Louisiana too. It's not just on the coast.
Just like it did in Alabama, went right through the middle. But we're still very active in all those places, the Salvation Army, with our feeding trucks and everything that we do. We're
so
still
they're
feeding.
providing meals as we speak.
Yes.
Especially in the Louisiana.
Lake Charles.
Lake Charles, yeah.
All the way over to Mobile, Gulf Shore.
Oh yeah, it's
been an active hurricane season, and just the whole year combined with this, like I was telling you, our store was closed for about 6 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the Salvation Army has had a big impact. They're having a little tough, and their resources are getting really stretched and limited now that we've had so many.
And then Christmas is coming around.
Hurricanes,
and with Christmas coming around, that's a giving part of the year. And if you're going to give to something, give to the Salvation Army, and then of course you take some of these quarts and distribute them to some of your friends and some of the people in your neighborhood. It's a wonderful gift for Christmas or Thanksgiving, and anybody that doesn't like good camp stew, they don't know what, they haven't ever had any of this, I'll tell you that.
That is true. It is very good.
do y'all ever run out? Y'all
We
sell
do.
it all?
We do. Sometimes we sell completely out the very day that we make it. And then other times we'll have some left and we freeze it in our freezers.
Yeah.
And people come in, days after or weeks after wanting camp stew.
Can I go ahead and order mine on order?
Sure. How many you want?
I want 5, and I'll give you a check for $50 and make it out to the Salvation Army, and I'll enjoy that. And of course, it stays in your freezer the whole year. I mean, you could be eating from the camp stew that you bought back this time a year ago. It's real good, and all it has to do is be
well
thawed.
in the freezer for a long time.
No question about it, and a wonderful nighttime meal. With let's just say with camp stew and a little light bread.
Absolutely, on a cold
or crackers.
Cold night like last night.
That's right. It was a cold night last night. And anybody out there can give me a remedy for cold feet. I need to know. I've got cold feet, and nothing will do anything to help me.
What about socks?
Yeah,
no, socks just don't do it, Mike. It's just cold feet. I mean, I put 3 or 4 layers of socks on.
They make a heated sock.
I know it. I need to find that.
You know, especially those for hunters.
Yeah.
You need to get you some of those.
I'm going to go shopping today because I was miserable last night with cold feet.
Why don't you put one of those like little hot things, packages in a pair of socks and wear those all night?
Mike, how many weeks ago did the flood hit you? One of these hurricanes hit you pretty solid, didn't they?
Yeah, whenever Sally came through, we got flooded.
How many weeks ago was that, Mike?
I want to say about a month and a half ago, maybe. I can't remember how long ago Sally was.
Well, it put you out of business. If you hadn't had a place to stay right next door or down the beach, you'd been in trouble, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Luckily, we have a family home next to us, so yeah, it was definitely devastating. I know it was really bad in Mobile and Orange Beach and Gulf Shores and all that area as well.
I noticed that my sister-in-law, they've had some damage, but did your insurance pretty much take care of everything, or what happened?
We didn't use our flood insurance. We'll use it some other time. We've used it so many times over the years. We just we financially had the money to take care of everything.
Is it hard to find? Are some of these insurance agencies not selling flood insurance anymore, or what's happening there?
Yeah, they're selling it.
I bet it's running sort of short, though, isn't it?
We just didn't choose to use it, but I'm sure a lot of people did.
Yeah.
It's probably very expensive.
Yeah, no question about it. And those low-lying areas, I mean, all you have to do is just drive to Graydon Beach, and you can tell that it's a low-lying area.
Yeah, I mean, I live about 150 yards from the Gulf of Mexico, so once it goes over the sand dunes and gets into the streets, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
When you have 25 inches of rain, what can anybody do,
I know that is a lot of rain, no question about it. Call in this morning and talk to us about how you have enjoyed the Salvation Army's Camp Stew sale, and it goes on, twice a week now, doesn't it?
Twice a year,
I mean,
yes.
During the Christmas.
Y'all need to be out at the polls today, at all the polling places selling Camp Stew. I'd probably sell out within about 2 or 3 hours.
I bet they wouldn't allow us to be there.
Kim, tell us some of the things that y'all do this time of year, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, coming up is the Bell, the Salvation Army's Ring a Bell
Red
program
Kettle campaign,
and that's one of that is your biggest fundraiser.
It is. Right? It is. We start the Saturday before Thanksgiving. I think that's the 21st, and we start ringing at Walmart. Ring Monday through Saturday. We don't ring on Thanksgiving, of course. We don't ring on Sundays. Or Sundays. And usually schedules from 9 to 5 in 2-hour shifts. 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5.
And they can call you or drop by and give you they'll give you a time to work. And I tell you, it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and it makes you feel good. And you on up into the Christmas. You've been out there many times on Christmas Eve, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Probably will be this year.
and the colder the weather, the better, or what?
I like to ring when it's cold. I'd rather it be cold than hot.
Yeah. Of course, your late husband.
What is the most money y'all have ever had in a Salvation Army pot?
Have you ever pulled out a big check or anything?
Well, we had several $1,500 checks last year, and
in the kettle.
Mm-hmm. And we get $100 bills sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's the largest amounts, that
biggest, largest.
But it all adds up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're thankful for everything we get, and we use all volunteers. So. We appreciate them so much.
And your volunteers have been wonderful. And I can't help but mention your sweet husband, the late Kenny May. Rain, snow, or sleet, he would be out there.
He was out there.
He did something. I told him one day, I said, Kenny, that's the best idea in the world. He went out among the football people every Saturday. Every home game on Saturday, he would work in the gates outside the stadium, and he was getting a lot of support, wasn't he?
He did. He kind of ran the kettles for me.
Yeah.
And he was a people person, and he just loved it.
Yeah.
And it was such a big help to me.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, he was my number one bell ringer.
No question about it.
You can't get Tommy or Tony to help out?
Well, Tommy doesn't live here anymore. And, you know, they all work and have their families. You know how that is.
But I tell you,
busy.
I tell you what, they're known for their camp stew, and of course, your good friend and my good friend Parker Sanders knows how to cook it, doesn't he? Parker Carter. What am I talking about? Parker, and of course Parker.
Why don't you just call him Colonel Sanders?
Is that his nickname?
No.
What are you talking about?
I don't think so.
Parker Sanders, of course, that family.
I'm talking about Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
Yeah, Carter is famous for his camp stew.
He really is, and that's a lot. How many gallons of camp stew will y'all cook?
Well, we usually cook between 600 and 800 quarts.
Yeah. Now you'll be doing this tomorrow night, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Start your cooking tomorrow night.
Yes.
Do you do it on premises or?
We do it at my house.
Okay.
Because I have a big covered
Yeah, I got you.
carport area.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just works really good for us. There's room for everything and all our cooking pots. And so we do it there.
Yeah. But right now you can drop by and order your stew. Like I've ordered 5 quarts already from me. I might need more. Do you need any, Mike? Do your kids like camp stew?
They probably don't know what it is.
my kids eat grilled cheeses. They don't eat grilled cheeses and chicken nuggets. That's about all they eat. So I probably don't need any.
I tell you what, it's a great Christmas item for you to give a neighbor or the postman or anybody that you appreciate.
I know my twin sister likes camp stew a lot. You got to get her some.
Yeah, that's right, exactly right. Go ahead and give me I'll write you a check for $100. So that'll give me.
You want
10 quarts of camp stew, and I'll enjoy every bit of it. And
it could be like the old tossed and fruit sale. You could go around with camp stew for Christmas, Dad, and Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, it's great, and you know, Kim goes way back. Of course, her dad was a legend, the legendary Lester Sanders, and you were born and raised on the Highway 29 between Troy and Banks, Alabama. Is that right?
That's right.
And of course, another thing that she used to do all the time, and her daddy was famous for what we call these turkey shoots. And you know what a turkey shoot was, Mike? You know, they put the targets out, and if you shoot it with a shotgun, and if your pellet is the closest to the middle, you have your choice of a ham or a turkey or a slab of bacon. And people, especially on Thanksgiving morning, or they would just flock over there for the turkey shoot. He was famous for that, wasn't he?
He was.
And of course, he was famous for his stew. Now, this is not his recipe, or is it his recipe?
Now, he didn't cook stew. He cooked chili.
Chili, yeah. He's a big chili cook. Yeah, his chili was outstanding. The late Sonny Williford, one of my closest friends, and I grew up with him, and I think about him every day. He and I remember used to ride around a lot, and just to see what was going on, and he would say, "Look, let's go by Lester's and get some of that great pie." Frito pie, and Lester would make that Frito pie. How did he make the Frito pie?
Well, it's really just simple. Crushed Fritos.
Yeah, crushed Fritos.
In the bottom of your bowl. Then you put the chili. Then you put onions.
Yeah.
Diced onions and cheese.
And then you put it in the oven, or what do you do?
That hot chili melts.
Oh,
that cheese.
already made.
That hot chili melts that cheese.
Okay, I got you. And it is delicious, and it was. And do people still ask you to make them some of that? Or?
Oh yeah, we have Frito pies a lot in my family. You know.
Before you go, I want to ask you for that recipe. That famous chili, and I love chili too, and I think I make pretty good chili. And do you put tomatoes in your chili?
Yes.
All right, tell us. Quickly give us that recipe. Get your pen and pencil ready.
It's very simple.
I know it is.
It's 2 pounds of ground. I usually use ground sirloin. I have it ground.
Yeah. Okay.
And you brown that with a chopped onion.
With a chopped onion, do you cut up the onion?
Yeah, chopped onion.
Okay.
You brown it with your meat. Put in with your meat.
And you don't have to have onion. You can skip the onion if you want to, can't you?
If you don't like onion, of course. Yeah. And then when your meat's brown, then you add. I put 2 cans of pinto beans, 2 cans of light red kidney beans.
All right, now pinto beans and kidney beans. What's the difference?
It's just a different kind of bean.
Yeah, I got you.
And that's just the way I like to make mine.
2 cans of kidney beans, and usually.
I use the light red kidney beans, and 2 cans of pinto beans.
And
then 2 cans of tomato sauce, 2 cans of tomatoes.
Now that's something that you do that I wouldn't do. I thought that you would already have the powder and all that, but you add the tomato sauce. Is that right?
Yes.
How much?
2 cans. And 2 cans of tomatoes.
2 cans of tomatoes.
Then I put my chili powder.
Yes, if you use the McCormick, is that McCormick? Yeah, that's a good one.
It depends on how hot you want it.
Yeah.
And I put a little bit of garlic powder.
Yeah.
And I sometimes add a little sugar.
Yeah.
And I cook it for a couple hours, and that's.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's a recipe that is known throughout the whole area here, Pike, and
it's a very simple recipe.
And of course, he was famous for that that recipe.
Simple is good sometimes.
And it was delicious. And there was another thing that.
Do you put cheese and sour cream on your chili? That's what I like.
No, I don't.
I usually put cheese.
I like cheese. I don't like that sour cream, Mike. Where would you get that?
A lot of people do.
I love sour cream, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it's delicious. But now, right now, we're talking about Salvation Army's annual camp stew, and I've already ordered $100 worth, which will be 10 quarts of.
And we thank you.
And a check for $100. And if I'm gonna give, hey, why not give to something that gives back?
True.
That's what I say. Heck, these folks are doing a wonderful service for our community, but at the same time, you give them a donation, and they give you back some delicious camp stew that you can hold in your freezer. Shoot, I've heard people hold it in the freezer for 2 years and still be good.
It does. In the deep freeze, it lasts very well.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I wanted.
How long has Troy had a Salvation Army?
I don't really know. I've been with them 14 years, and they were here before I started, but I don't know for how long.
I just remember growing up. I don't remember a Salvation Army.
I don't think they were always here, but I can tell you this. I don't know if there was like a Salvation Army store, but my mother's 91, and when she was a young girl, the few times they came to town, they lived in the country. She said at Christmas time, she remembers the same guy that rang the bell on the corner downtown on the square. And she remembers him ringing the bell for the Salvation Army. Yeah.
And they wore uniforms, too. They were sort of spooky looking. You wonder who these folks were. And, of course, did a world of good for a lot of people. And right now, tell us some things that y'all need.
Well, I was going to mention, we do angel tree.
Yeah.
And we've got all of our angels on our tree in the Salvation Army store ready for adoption.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to adopt an angel, we've got them on the tree and they're ready to be adopted.
Yeah.
And these children have been through the application process. They all qualify, and this is usually all the Christmas that they get. Is what these people that adopt the child.
we do angel tree down here. That's a great thing to get involved in. You basically make sure kids and children have a Christmas.
Exactly. So our angels are out on our tree and ready for adoption.
Yeah, well, that's great.
And I've already adopted out probably 60.
And these are children. And
they basically give you a list of the things they
need
to get for Christmas.
A few wants.
Yeah.
They usually, they put their size clothing they wear, what they need. Sometimes they ask for bedding.
Yeah.
You know, like a comforter set
Sure,
or a blanket, and a few wishes on toys.
That's
So,
a wonderful thing y'all do.
Yeah.
And of course, with the Christmas season, this sort of kicks off your Christmas season too. And of course, starts with Thanksgiving. And this camp stew is wonderful on your Thanksgiving table too. I can see people right now.
It seemed like with COVID going on, it seems like places like the Salvation Army would be needed more than ever. There's so many people on hard times and people that need things financially. And then you got the COVID situation to go along with that. I mean, how does that work as far as people coming into your store? Do they have to wear masks?
Yeah, mask is required, and you're supposed to stay 6 feet apart. Social distancing as best as you can. And we still.
Are y'all getting any masks in for people that need masks?
Very few. We did have some, but we're about out. But now, since COVID's been going on so long, everybody just about has their own mask.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we don't really get many calls for a mask.
We actually have about 30 masks. We have so many.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I know.
Well, I tell you what, it's the responsible thing to do, and hopefully everybody's doing it. And of course, Kim May is with us with and of course the Salvation Army, and we appreciate her so much. And of course, you can bring back clothing, and you can bring back food and non-perishable food. What are some things that you need most of all?
In our food bank?
Yeah.
The thing that we're always short on is proteins, like canned meat, canned tuna, things like that, salmon, peanut butter.
Peanut butter would be a good gift, wouldn't it?
Of course, that costs more, so we don't get as much of that, but we're always short on proteins.
Yeah. I could see you riding down the road with your children and say, let's do something, what you're supposed to do this time of year, and that's to give. And, give them some peanut butter to take in there, or some, non-perishable items to take in there. Now, what do you do about milk and things like that?
We try to keep dry milk stocked in our food bank, like to give out with cereal and things like that.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have anything, dry milk is non-perishable. Because we don't have anywhere to keep fresh milk. So, that's a good thing to have. We like to keep it. And it's coming up on the holidays. We give out Thanksgiving and Christmas food boxes. And we can always use donations of turkeys or turkey breasts, frozen, small turkeys, and frozen turkey breasts to put in
that'd be
these food
wonderful,
boxes.
So when you're in the store, get an extra turkey or 2 or 3 extra turkey. Turkey is inexpensive.
It is.
And it feeds a lot of people for a long time, And
when we fix a food box, of course, we don't have a facility to cook. So we try to fix a box that they can prepare a holiday meal for themselves. We try to put a turkey, stuffing, gravy mix, cranberry sauce, green beans, and usually like a fruit cake. Right now we've got some pumpkin pies in our freezer that was donated, so we'll put a pumpkin pie.
And let's just say you're in the grocery store, those Claxton fruit cakes, they hold up real well, And it's something that they can say, well, that's for Christmas.
Yeah, and then they can prepare a holiday meal.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it's a wonderful, wonderful program that the Salvation Army has done. And, of course, Kim does a wonderful, wonderful job. And there's so much people in need. Cash is also something very important, because you have people come to you all the time and say, I need gas to get to Montgomery, or I've got a problem with my car,
a
hotel room.
But we don't give, just so people out there know, we don't give anyone cash.
I'm sorry.
We give them vouchers for these places. But we can use the money to do these things.
But I mean, what I'm saying, your donations in cash, but you don't give away cash.
No. But yeah, we always need donations anytime. And it stays right here locally in our community. It doesn't go anywhere else. So we use it right here for the people in our community in need.
I always...
looks like Tim's already been in the polls and voted this morning. Is that
I did.
You've already voted this morning.
I went before I came here.
Was the ballot hard to understand?
No.
And of course,
It was.
And it's a very important time in our life right here. This is a huge and a very important election, and I hope everybody will go out and do their civic duty by voting today.
And you know, I got there at 20 till 7, and there was already a line, so I got in that line.
So it looks like where do you vote?
At the Troy Public Library.
Okay, so that's a pretty popular place too, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know, it moves pretty fast.
Yeah.
So I got through, got voted, and got here on time. So
yeah.
You know.
Do y'all touch base with the with the child welfare departments and people's churches and different things like that?
They usually call us.
Yeah.
If they need something, they call us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you want to get your child involved with giving and and caring for others. This is be a wonderful time to maybe get the neighborhood kids together and bring a canned good and take it to the Salvation Army.
Have a little food drive.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Now things like
y'all need stuffed animals. I have about 500.
I think everybody has about 500.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
We have about 500.
That stuffed animal might make a wonderful gift for a kid that doesn't have much.
But yes, we do take them.
They do take them.
We donate a lot down here to a bunch of different places with all the kids' toys. I hope everybody out there does that, because eventually there's no need to hold on to 500 stuffed animals.
That's
no question about it.
I understand that.
And I'll tell you another thing too, like Pampers and
blankets and diapers and pull-ups and all the stuff. You know,
you have a lot of calls for that too, don't you? Your diapers and so forth.
We keep all that kind of stuff in our food bank.
Yeah.
Toiletries.
You gotta have wet ones and all that.
Yeah.
And toiletries like soap and toothpaste, razors, shaving cream. We keep all that. Socks. We give out a lot of socks.
Well, if you think about coming off the road, police departments don't give money for gasoline or don't help with these type things. I mean, they make sure that there's law and order, but the people that they always come to are the Salvation Army.
That's true.
Because
sometimes they'll call me in the middle of the night.
You look at those thousands and thousands of cars on our bypass, and our bypasses that are just loaded with traffic. Well, there's some hard people in that traffic that are having a hard time, and some of them are giving out of gas, and they don't have money to pay for gas to get them where they want to go.
Going, true.
So you run into that a lot?
Yes, we do, quite often. Not a lot, but occasionally.
Tell us now, what if you have things like refrigerators and washers and dryers and stoves and things like that? Do you deal with any of that?
We do. Something that we can plug in and try out.
Yeah.
Stoves we usually don't take because we can't guarantee they work.
Yeah, I understand.
Now washer and dryer, if I know where it came from and they assure me that it works, I sell them, for a cheap price. But mostly it's refrigerators and freezers that we sell because we can plug those in. And
this is a college town, and there's a lot of bedding, people needing bedding, and they can save money, can't they?
We cannot sell or give away mattresses.
Okay, now I know that.
Because of the bed bug epidemic.
Sure.
We can't sell them or give them away.
But
as far as sheets and quilts and comforters and things like that, we sell.
The reason I said that, certain times out of the month, you'll have a truck that'll come pick up items. Is that right?
Yes, our truck driver works 2 days a week. He picks up locally, but there has to be furniture involved. And at this point in time, he cannot go in anyone's house because of COVID.
Yeah.
They have to bring their donations. They have to put them in the yard or under their carport, and he picks it up from there.
Yeah. Of course, I want to remind you that
a lot of people during the holidays, Dad, do tacky sweater Christmas parties. I imagine y'all have a few tacky sweaters.
We do. We have people come in looking for tacky sweaters.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
So we do put out our Christmas sweaters that come in.
Now, these 10 quarts of Camp Stew that I purchased this morning, I will give away to people that my friends for Christmas, or people in my neighborhood, and people that I feel like are in need. Of course, these churches do a lot to take care of people, but I don't know if anybody does what the Salvation Army does, and I know it's hard work, but at the same time, you receive a blessing from it, don't you?
That's true, yes. And you know, a lot of people don't know that Salvation Army is a church.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to sign up today also with, or sometime this week, for a couple hours that I can give to ring the bell. And, you know, that ringing the bell is so important because it is a huge support.
Our volunteers are so important and so appreciated.
Yes, sir. No question about it.
Do you have to be able to stand up to ring a bell, or do y'all provide some kind of chair?
Every kettle stand has a stool with it.
Yeah.
You know, I provide a stool for everybody to sit on because a lot of my bell ringers are older. They can't stand there for 2 hours. And even myself, I've had a knee replacement, and I don't really want to stand there for 2 hours.
No
I have
question
to
about
sit down in between when I'm ringing, you know.
Yeah.
So we have somewhere for them to sit at every kettle stand.
Well, all right, you take some of our new businesses, will they be involved in the kettle ringing, like, you know, some of our new grocery stores or anything like that? Are they involved give you a setup,
We
stand?
get to ring at the Piggly Wigglies.
Yeah, that's great.
Walgreens.
That's wonderful.
And Walmart.
And Walmart, that's good.
Grocery Advantage let us ring, but you know they went out of business.
That's right, I hated that.
We're not allowed to ring at Publix.
Yeah, I got you.
But Hobby Lobby, when it gets here, they will let us ring.
All right, and it's going to open up before you know it, won't it?
Yeah, maybe for next year's season.
Yeah, exactly.
Not this year, but maybe by next year's
I
season.
tell you, it's a wonderful gesture. So you know, you need to drop by and sign up for a time and a date to ring the bell.
Absolutely, yes. Please, we will sign you up.
No question about it. Hey, if you need the camp stew, call me. I'm gonna have plenty.
And it's really fun to ring the bell. You see people you know and get in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. One of the things I run into problems with is having enough freezer space. So I'm gonna have to give mine away to a lot of different people. I'm glad to do it. Merry Christmas. And of course, you know, Thanksgiving is such a big part of everything too, and we sure don't want to skip Thanksgiving. I know Thanksgiving with you growing up, you know, I know you had to work the turkey shoots, but you know, it put a big smile on somebody's head to have a slab of bacon or turkey or a ham, and you've seen a lot of people happy with that. I know this, that I used to you know, go a lot and do it, and I noticed that some of this one guy kept winning and kept winning. They found out that he had a unique shotgun. They made him stop using it because he was winning too much. But that was years ago.
Years ago.
But you knew who the top shooters were and who had the best guns, and you had to be allowed to use their gun too.
Yeah. Everybody had to lay them on the table.
And you shot it at a sign, and the pellets would make would show up on the sign, and if it was closest to the middle of the
well, there was an X on the target, a little card.
That's right.
And whoever got the most shots closest to the center of the target won.
That's right. And of course, you were that little girl that was going to get the bacon and get the ham. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or you grew up.
And then my boys.
Yeah.
They got initiated into helping too when they got old enough.
And your brothers Bart and
yes, Bart, Rod.
And Rod, yeah.
Gary was pretty much grown and married then.
But that was part of your holidays, was working those.
He usually had 3 a year. One before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
One on Thanksgiving Day, and one before Christmas.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun, and a lot of people congregated. It was just what it was. It was
and build a fire, and I mean they shot.
Oh, yeah.
They shot till in the night. He had a row of lights out there, and they would shoot till 8, 9.
I know, isn't that amazing? Y'all ran out of turkeys and hams.
He'd have to go to the store and get more. You know, everybody
Lester was known
it.
for that, and like you said, it was sort of a gathering place for people during the holidays, and they had a lot of fun.
One time I
Tradition.
shot This is after I was grown and married, and I decided I was going to shoot. I had a 410.
Yeah.
And I shot. I still got that 410. It's a great gun.
A great turkey shoot gun.
Yeah. Anyway, I shot and I won with my 410.
Yeah. Okay. That was
I won like a slab of bacon and something, and my daddy took it back and shot it off again.
You know, the late Mr. Roy Dunn used to get down on the ground and shoot sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, some people took this thing real serious, and they took home a lot of bacon.
Yeah.
No question about it, but it was a lot of fun.
Meat people took home.
But it was part of the tradition of growing up here in Pike County.
It was just good, clean fun.
Yeah. Of course, now, when you come by and pick up your stew, now, when will you pick up the stew? Thursday
from 12 noon to 6 p.m. at the Salvation Army.
And it will still be hot, so if you want to take it by your friends or take it by people that you know that are in need, it'll be ready to eat.
Absolutely.
And of course, let's talk more about the man that is cooking this stew.
Carter.
He does everything out of his own free will. And tell us about Carter.
Well, Carter and I have been friends for many years, and he's involved in a lot of events in the community.
Sure.
You know, he's helped, and I used
Born
to
and raised in Goshen.
Mm-hmm. And I used to help him, you know, with events he would be cooking at, like Save a Life and stuff. And he volunteered the first time, Salvation Army. He asked me, he said, how about Camp Stew for a fundraiser? That's when we started it. It was his idea.
How many years ago was that?
Probably 10.
Yeah, at
12.
least 10, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's been helping us ever since.
Yeah.
We cook Camp Stew twice a year.
And he's a wonderful, wonderful guy that makes some of the best camp stew. Something that makes his camp stew a little different is it has a sweeter taste. It has a sweet taste to it, which is really, really tops it off. You know, I don't like strong soups and so forth. It's a very mild and sweet taste.
And we don't make it too hot.
And I don't even believe you even make it with onion, do you? You don't even put onion.
Yeah, we put onion.
You do
in
put
it, but it's cooked down to just about
cooked
nothing.
Down. Yeah.
But we don't put too much of the hot element in it because you can add that at home. You can add your hot sauce because we try to please so many people. And we don't want to get it too hot.
Does he have the big aluminum containers? Is that what y'all cook them in?
Stainless steel.
Yeah, stainless steel. And
100-quart pots.
Did it get sort of tiring of being up all night long?
Yes. By Thursday night, I'm usually pretty wiped out.
Do you need any help? I mean, do y'all need any volunteer help?
I think we've got enough help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you'll have a lot of people that'll be putting the stew in these containers, won't they?
They'll be the volunteers.
And then you drop by the Salvation Army and you say, "Well, I've got 5 quarts of stew or 10 quarts of stew."
And they just come pick it up.
I know what I'm going to be doing Thursday is distributing stew, it looks like.
Yeah, you will be. And everybody will have a mask on, and they'll be wearing gloves, so everything will be safe.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you get your stew, if you're still concerned about it, just let it boil a little bit.
Exactly.
And that'll take care of everything.
Yeah, exactly. And it is delicious, no question about it, and we appreciate
Paul Crane passed away, Dad, the great Alabama center.
Boy, and he was a great one. You know, he wore right behind. He played right behind the great one from Enterprise.
I didn't know Crane played for the Jets for 8 years.
Oh yeah, he sure did. He was a good player.
He won the Super Bowl with Amos.
Yeah, that's right. He and Namath and Raymond Abruzzi, Ray Abruzzi played on that team too. And Paul Crane was living in Mobile, went to Barger High School.
Yeah, he was athletic director at one time and head coach at McGill-Tulane.
Yeah, of course, he was a great player and a great, one of Coach Bryant's favorite players was Paul Crane. Played linebacker and center, you know, back then they played both ways.
He was 76.
76 years old, Paul Crane. And, of course, the great one from Enterprise, Mike, that played before him, can you tell me who that was?
You know, I wasn't born until 76. So
yeah, but only you could do this. Do you know who it was?
I don't know.
Of course, he became a surgeon, a very world-renowned surgeon, and he was from Enterprise, Alabama. And oh gosh, now I can't even remember him, but he was a great one out of Enterprise. And of course, Jimmy Carroll came after Paul Crane, and he was also from Enterprise.
Yeah, well, the article is from a guy named Galen McCullough.
Yeah, that's who it was, Galen McCullough. He was the All-American center that played ahead of.
They were roommates at Alabama and started the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Alabama.
I know they're great people, and you know, one of my favorite actors has died.
Sean Connery?
Sean Connery, man. Everybody remember James Bond, won't they? James Bond has finally died at 90.
Yeah, he had a good life.
Yeah.
He was a sharp dude, wasn't he? No question about it. Of course, you know, it seems like with the COVID-19, it's not necessarily that they have that disease, but you're more conscious of it. You're seeing more obituaries now than ever before, you know.
Yeah, it's been a tough year.
It's not all due to the virus, though.
Yeah.
Some of these people are just, you know, dying of natural causes.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got something to give to the Salvation Army, you know, if it's how about a toy or something like that is in good shape.
Yeah, we take most anything.
But you don't take junk though either, do you?
No, we don't want your garbage.
Yeah, I know exactly. And of course, I've been in there many times and seen a lot of things that I liked, and I bought there over the years. I used to buy all my records all the time, my 45s. I used to buy them all from there, where people would be giving their 45s up, and I'd keep mine. You know, and
they're making a comeback, vinyl.
Yeah, no question about it. Of course, Kim May is our guest this morning, and it's always been a pleasure, my friend. And we
Same here.
wish for you. I need to write my check now, or when I come and pick it up.
When you pick it up.
Okay. And make your check out to the Salvation Army. It's tax deferred, and a gift to the Salvation Army, and it'll go to a very good cause, won't it?
Yes, absolutely.
And good luck to you tonight. You're going to have some warm clothes on, I hope.
Well, it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, yeah. Tomorrow night's a big night. And that's something that you don't look forward to, I'm sure, do you?
No, well, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
You know, if it's cool, I usually build a little fire in my fire pit.
Yeah, sure.
And sit by the fire. And, you know, what's better than sitting by a fire?
Yeah.
You know, so.
And somebody's got to be stirring that stew, though, don't
Yes.
they? Is that
Yes.
Do y'all need anybody to stir the stew?
Well, we got plenty.
That's
you know,
great.
I think we
good.
got plenty volunteers. So
Yeah.
it doesn't take but about 3 of us.
Well, I tell you what, God
do
bless
it
all of
overnight.
you. God bless all of you for giving your time. And Carter, wherever you are this morning, this whole community is proud of you and appreciates what you've done for
Yes,
your
we
fellow
do.
men. No
Thank
question
you.
about it. And of course, we're going to enjoy this delicious camp stew, not just now, but 6 months from now on a cold or whenever it's a cold night. I said, hey, how about throwing out some of that camp stew? What's the quickest way or easiest way to thaw out something like this? Usually,
Well,
let
I'm kind of old-fashioned.
stick it in the window. Do you stick it in the window like your mama used to do?
I would just put it in my pot, put a lid on it, and turn it on real low, the lowest it goes.
In your pot.
Yeah, on the stove.
What do you call it? I mean, is it your
Pot and pan?
Yeah, just
just a pot and
and a lid.
pan?
Just a
Yeah.
pot and a lid. And I just turn on the lowest setting on the stove, and pretty soon it's thawed out.
All right, now you wouldn't do it on your
Crock pot?
crock pot, yeah.
Yeah, you could do it that way.
You would? Okay.
It'd take longer, I would imagine.
Well, would you leave it in the container?
No.
All right, no.
Mm-mm.
So you got to get it out of the container. Sort of hard when it's frozen, though,
Well,
isn't
all you gotta do is run a little water over the
it?
outside.
Okay, a little hot water.
And it pop right out.
Hey,
I've done it 100 times.
all right, what do you do with frozen windshields in the morning? How do you do that?
Well, you don't put warm water, you put
Yeah.
cold water.
I know it, but you know, everybody think that'd be the first thing to think about. Pour warm water on it.
Crack your windshield.
No question about it.
I had a scraper for years in Birmingham because Mama does would freeze overnight all the time.
Yeah, I've got a scraper,
Kim,
which I rarely use.
Kim,
here.
you stay busy, and of course this time of year, the holiday season is the biggest time of the year, and of course your camp stew sales is always huge too, and you do it twice a year. You know, you give a lot of your time and effort to it. Do you work all the way up until Christmas Day, or what do you do?
Well, through Christmas Eve.
Through Christmas Eve. And then you finally you get on the Santa's sleigh and you go to the houses. Is that right?
I go pass out. We have a cute sign in my office during Christmas season, and it's Santa Claus, and he's just passed out in the gifts, you know, and it says on there, it says, "Is it over yet?"
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we are. Is it over yet?
I remember something you said last year at this time, and you were really concerned about whether or not it was going to be successful or not because of the virus and all that was going on. And you turned out to have the best year of your whole career.
Bowls?
Yeah, that's right, the Angie Bowls. And I thought that result was, I was riding down the road and I had a tear to come to my eyes because I know how hard y'all worked during that time, and you can't tell exactly how many people are going to come until they come. And ladies and gentlemen, they came and they came and they came.
Well,
you gave away everything, didn't you?
We did. A lot of people were there. Not quite as many as we've been having, but we had more people. They would come to the door and give us a check.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
They just give us a check and leave.
That was wonderful.
So people are very generous, and I always tell people I always pray. I had prayed, and prayers are answered.
Yeah. You know, this sounds silly, but I sort of wish y'all had a drive-in window because a lot of people, you're so convenient on South 39th Street where people could just pull up and give you a check and move on. You know, you ride by that place every day. How about stopping in or just pulling up, leave your car running, and bring them a check?
Yeah, or mail it to us at our post office box. It's P.O. Box 592, Troy.
P.O. Box 592, and that's a very good address.
Then you don't have to come in or...
592, P.O. Box. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the Salvation Army and 592. And that's where you send, and you make your check out to the Salvation Army, and it'll get to a good place, won't it?
That's right.
Hope you've enjoyed our show today, and of course, Kim is always welcome on our show and been on our show many times. And you know, we're the kettle season's coming around, and I reckon right now that bothers you more than anything is will we have enough kettle ringers?
Volunteers, yes.
And you just an hour at a time, is that right? 2 hours at a time.
And you have a place to sit.
Yeah.
And it's outside, and you have to wear a mask this year.
Yeah.
And you don't have to touch anything, so.
Or you can wear gloves or whatever,
you can wear
too.
gloves if you want to.
Yeah.
And we have disinfectant wipes in all of our kettle bags. So, you know, we're trying to cover all the bases.
And if you want to have a thermos with some coffee, you could have some thermos with the coffee.
That's right.
For yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know this time of year you think, well, I know you think about him all the time, talking about your wonderful husband that was so devoted to ringing the kettle. I know that the kettle ringing really brings back his memories. You could write a whole book, couldn't you?
Yeah, we could.
Have you ever told him, say, Kenny, get out of that cold weather. You've done enough, Kenny. You've done enough. But
did.
You know what? He'd stay out there.
And I used to take him if it turned cold or started raining. I would take him a coat or an umbrella, and I used to run through by the door at Walmart.
Yeah.
He'd be ringing, and I would hand him a hot cup of coffee.
Oh gosh! And he just was so devoted, and you know, he was just first of all a wonderful man, and but you know he was doing it because he loved you so much, because he knows what a strain that was on you every holiday season.
And he just really enjoyed it because, you know, he was a people person.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd see everybody he knew.
And no question. And
he was glad to do it.
And prior to him, y'all had another guy that was so devoted for
Johnny
a long
Loeffler.
time. Is he still living?
Yes. But he's not ringing for us anymore.
But he rang for you for a long time.
He used to would go out there and stay 4 to 6 hours ringing.
He really would, wouldn't he?
And sometimes, even after Kenny died,
Johnny Locklear.
He would go and just stay at Walmart and keep an eye on the doors for me.
Yeah, sure.
You know, he was very helpful.
No question about it.
But you know, you get to the point where you can't stand out there 6 hours.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand that very much. Mike Amos, do you ever see the bell ringer down at Grayton Beach?
No, I don't see anything down here. I live in, retail land. Maybe at some of the Walmarts or Lowe's or Home Depots or some other areas, but I actually don't.
Well, y'all are a worldwide organization, aren't you, Kim?
Yes, worldwide.
Is it like you're a member of an actual army?
Well, the Salvation Army is actually a Universal Christian Church.
I mean, so it's a church, yeah.
Now, I'm not a member. I just work for them.
Well, what denomination is it? Do you know?
It's
non-denominational.
Non-denomination.
But they believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
It's pretty much like our Baptist, pretty much the same thing. But I'm not a Salvation Army member. I'm just an employee.
Yeah, I got you.
But if you're a Salvation Army member, you have to wear the uniform.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
It's structured like an army.
Yeah, I got you.
And those that you see, once you reach to be major, they're all ordained ministers.
Yeah, they're good people, no question about it.
That's
It's a wonderful
thing,
service.
like disasters that we can do.
Yeah.
They can minister to the disaster victims.
And if you would like to be a volunteer, like go to a storm or go work a storm, there's a lot of, how does that work?
They just contact me if they want to volunteer, and there's a process they have to go through.
Now, did the Salvation Army take care of them, just like on places to stay and eat and all that
now,
when they volunteer?
Sometimes the conditions might not be the greatest, but yes, you're provided a place to stay and
a way down there and to the site, or
sometimes you have to take yourself.
Yeah,
it just depends where it's at.
But there are a lot of people that donate their time and efforts to the Salvation Army that doesn't get any credit at all. You're not looking for the people that want credit. You were looking for somebody that's gonna do some hard work.
That's gonna help you. Yes.
No question about it.
During those times.
Hope you've enjoyed our show today, and we appreciate all of our sponsors.
Get out there and vote.
Please get out there and vote.
Yes.
Kim's already voted. It wasn't hard at all. How long did it take you in the polls?
Took me about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I guess we have no clue about Pike County elections, what's going on today, but go out and vote for whoever your favorite candidate is.
No question about it.
We never even talked about that, Dad, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow who wins.
Yeah, very important to vote, and we'll find out probably by early morning who's leading at least. I don't know if we can tell you who wins.
The presidential election will probably not be decided, they said, until Friday, so we won't know anything for sure until Friday.
Exactly right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed our show today. Of course, remember the Camp Stew sale. Go by and make your order today, go by and for $50 donation, you get 5 quarts of Camp Stew.
Yes.
How many quarts total do you think you'll have?
Between 600 and probably 700.
Whoa, gosh, and just distributing that's going to be a job, isn't it?
Well, we bring it all to the store, and they come pick it up.
And it's brought to you hot too, isn't it? Right out of the kettle, is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
so I'll be busy Thursday afternoon giving out Camp Stew.
No question. That's Thursday and they're located on South Brunny Street right here in Troy, and drop by and pick it up. Not a time to browse, though. It's just you go in and pick up your stew and move on, because there's going to be a lot of folks doing that same thing come this Thursday. Hope you've enjoyed our show today, and of course, again, go out and vote and do your civic duty and your duty as an American. Remember, we are America, and